everyone, and welcome to the Nerd Adventures of Babsie in London. Yay! Today, boys and girls, we're going to talk about my favorite fandom. Okay, it's tied with another fandom, but one of my favorite fandoms, Sherlock. I had the immense pleasure of being able to go to the Sherlock Holmes Museum a few days ago. And I'm not going to give you a general walkthrough of what happens because you really need to experience it to understand it, but I'll give a little review about what I personally thought as a fan was great about this place. Okay, so price-wise, it's pretty reasonable. It's like £6, which is about $10, $11 in US money for adults, and then for kids it's £4. So compared to some of the other attractions around London, it's a little bit more than decently priced. But you are paying for a smaller museum because it is, in fact, in a house on Baker Street. Yeah. See, I think it's a pretty awesome site to pilgrimage to. Mostly if you're a diehard canon fan, this is going to be the place for you to go. It's not just like Sherlock Holmes fake, like, look, you're inside his house type of stuff. It has actual Baker Street irregulars, memorabilia. It's pretty faithful to the books, which, I mean, it should be. It is the museum. But, you know, with those types of things, a lot of it's up to interpretation, but they seem to stay pretty true to what's in the books. My favorite part would probably have to be the wax figurines. Now, you can really go either way with the wax figurines. There's either the people that are creeped out by it or the people who have immense fun with it. Guess which one am I? Okay, well, I thought it was funny, but mostly it's because of the fact that the wax figurines are right there in the room next to you. Like, you are standing next to some of the characters from the canon, which can lead to some pretty interesting photographs if you plan it correctly. And I have to say, it was the most fun I've had. Like this picture, me, I die, with Professor Moriarty. Who would not want to be a vamp like that? Come on. Or how about this picture? I'm over at the Red-Headed League giving my suggestions to what he's writing, of course. I don't care that I'm not a ginger. I'm the secretary to the Red-Headed League. Secretly. Even though they don't exist. Anyways, another picture I had the immense pleasure of taking was with the woman, Miss Irene Adler herself. Scandal! What do we see? Gasp! Will we ever know? It was a window, if anyone was wondering. And here's me yelling at Sherlock, because who doesn't want to yell at Sherlock some point in the canon or BBC or any other adaptation? You just kind of have to yell at him. This very moment in time, I'm yelling at him because he is staring way too intently at John, and I'm sorry, I don't ship John Locke. Stop staring at each other! Ah! Or how about this? I'm yelling at John now. John, you really need to pay attention. Keep up. how are we supposed to solve all these cases if you have no idea what's going on? Not that you weren't smart, John. You're a very intelligent doctor. But keep up! Ah! Another immensely fun part, which every Sherlockian has to make a trip to, is the gift shop. The gift shop is technically next door to the entrance of the museum. You have to enter in it to get the tickets first. And then you go around to the door to 221B and take your tour. When you're done, you have to walk back out and walk back into the gift shop. There isn't like a direct door. But if you have the money, or if you don't, it has some really, really awesome gifts and really awesome things you can bring home. Like this hat that I got. I'm not really sure. It's got ear flaps. It's a death frisbee. The hat was around 25 pounds. Now, of course, I was saving up money for this very hat, so I was willing to spend the money. If not, there are some very good shops around in the markets that are selling these exact same hats for around like 12 pounds. So if you don't care exactly where you got it, you just want the hat, this would be an option for you. If you need a hat from the Sherlock Holmes Museum, these are awesome hats. Another thing, this is a badge from Greg Lestrade giving Sherlock Holmes the ability to arrest people, given by Her Majesty the Queen. Two things. One, I am pretty sure Lestrade would never, ever give Sherlock the ability to arrest anyone, because that would just go bad very quickly. So definitely not canon, definitely not adaptation worthy or anything like that. But it's a fun little knick-knack to have, and you can pretend you're Sherlock Holmes and you can pretend you can arrest people. Yay! It was like 5 pounds if I remember correctly. So a nice little gift if you want to get something for a Sherlock fan back home, but you don't really feel like spending money on them, so you just kind of got them this. I like it. It's mine. If you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, but you want something to remind you of the fabulous time that you had at the Sherlock Holmes Museum, not only do you get a brochure with a map of the museum with your ticket, you can also pick up one of these nifty business cards when you're in the gift shop. They're kind of spliced around in different little holders in different places, so you can just pick one up. They're absolutely free. They're actually the business cards for the Sherlock Holmes Museum. It's just that they go about their business cards a little bit interesting. It's for Sherlock. So, if you ever need Sherlock Holmes, that is where you can get his number. Because yes, I do need Sherlock Holmes' number. But the Sherlock Holmes Museum isn't the only Sherlock thing you can do in London. You can, if you do so please, Sherlock your entire trip. Here are some places that are a must-see for any Sherlock, and I should specify BBC Sherlock fans need to see, and it's all for free. So, recognize this picture? You should. This area should look familiar to most people who have seen the episode The Blind Baker. The Blind Baker featured a whole part about graffiti. Does this scene look familiar to you? It should. It is from The Blind Baker. This little alcove is by the Thames near the Globe Theatre. If you're walking along the street towards it, kind of by the Tate and everything, that whole hip and modern area, all of a sudden you walk past a building and it's on stilts, and inside, all of this graffiti. I spent a good few minutes trying to find the graffiti from Sherlock because I'm assuming somewhere deep inside there it's there, but oh well, it wasn't there. Graffiti artists. Another area that you should hit up is St. Bart's. Unfortunately, I haven't hit St. Bart's yet because, oh my god, the feels. Not ready. Body, not ready. But I plan on going sometime soon, and you'll probably see that with a little post about Gower Street, which happens to be the street I live on and also happens to be the street where they filmed Sherlock and where their 221B is placed. So I'll probably do a nice little trip to Speedy's and St. Bart's all in one day, and you'll get to see it. It'll be exciting. Sorry guys, I'm so changeable. The next one isn't exactly a place. It's more of a thing. A thing that most Sherlockians want. My hat. Now this hat is incredibly hard to find. Not gonna lie. A lot of people who live in London who are Sherlock fans say, oh, you can find it in any tourist shop, you know, blah, blah, blah. No. I went through almost every single tourist shop I've hit up in the last 2 weeks, and every single tourist site I've hit. And I didn't find this very hat until 2 days ago. I'm very excited. It's a very cool hat. This hat I found was for sale at the Covent Gardens Market, which, if you're in London, you should probably check out. It's a really cool open-air market that sells on different days and different shops are open. But there's one woman there, a very, very sweet Asian woman, who sells this very hat for just £5. Good price. Especially since, you know, Sherlock deerstalker hat, you can get it for either 25 or 12 at the Covent Garden Market. I should clear up. It was at the shop next door, but who knows? They might move around. But there is a shop in the Covent Gardens Market that does sell deerstalkers for £12 instead of 25 if you're interested. But that is not the point right now. The point is this hat. A very, very nice Asian woman, as I stated before, has this nice little touristy shop right out front before all the major markets and such in the indoor area. She had no idea why I nearly screamed when I saw this hat. I later had to explain to her that this hat is from a very, very important TV show, and that if she wishes to sell more, she should probably advertise. She seemed pretty excited at the prospect of selling more of these hats. I guess they're not a hot buy. Don't know why. But got it for £5. It's cheap. It is perfect for any BBC Sherlock fan. And I know all of you are going to go to Covent Gardens, meet this woman, and buy her stuff. Also, I should make an aside, Whovian fans, there is a booth at the Covent Gardens Market. As of recently, maybe it's not as of recently, maybe he's been there all this time, but there is a guy who is selling Whovian merchandise like full blast posters that say victory for the Daleks, sonic screwdrivers. I was very sad to find out he did not have a 10th Doctor except the little pipsqueak one. I need a full size. And among other things, like some memorabilia, some action figures, collectibles, the basic Whovian needs. I restrained myself from buying anything because I am saving my money for the Doctor Who experience in Cardiff, which you will also see a video about later. But I thought I'd inform any local Whovians that if they are in dire need of some nice Doctor Who stuff, he's the guy to hit up. Another place that any Sherlockian should visit, any diehard fan, canon lover, anyone, they should visit Undershaw. While I haven't visited Undershaw myself, I plan on visiting it in the near future because it's the house where Arthur Conan Doyle wrote some of his best works. It's where he lived. And while it sits there kind of sad and dilapidated, it has some real hope in the near future of becoming an actual historical site, which is awesome. And everyone should help save Undershaw. If you have any questions, want to know more about the house or anything like that, I'm not exactly the expert, but these people are. SaveUndershaw.com. They are the major proponents right now in getting the house together. And also Mark Gatness, he's like the head of this, and he's trying to save the house, make it a historical site and everything. And for any Sherlock fans, that should just warm your heart because God tis saving the day again. Great. That's all I have right now, but stay tuned. I'm planning on making more of these videos later. I think they work a little bit better than the blog typing. Too many words. So, see you next time. For it is always 1895, and the game, my fellow followers, is on.